Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Cocktail Hour. My name is David Sadaka, the Sadman. I'm your host, my co-host, Mr. Nadeem Awad. Nadeem, say hello to the nice people.
What's up, people? Back in the studio, Gonzo Radio here in the big man's chair.
Yeah, man, you look comfortable over there.
This is comfortable as shit over here. I got a cocktail.
We've been invaded.
He's having a drink with me just to make sure I don't fuck anything up.
That's amazing. All these racial slurs that he throws at you, Nadeem, and you take it like a champ.
I missed it. I was drinking a whiskey. I took a sip.
He says you've been invaded. You know what that means. A guy with like you with the beard and all that shit. I know, man. I've been Lebanese my whole life. Yeah. The Asian invasion.
Your whole life? No shit.
Yeah, man. That's not a new thing for me.
Thank you. Good man.
So anyway, listen, everyone out there, I hope you got a cocktail and you got yourselves comfy and cozy. Some of you just watched a great show from the individuals at the chat fight. I was able to get on in the end. They bring me on and I get yelled at and I yell back because I'm defensive. And we had a lot of fun over there and they're doing a great job and they had a great show. And I hope you stayed with us and you freshened up your drink and you're able to settle back and enjoy us for the next hour. I got myself a scotch, by the way. We got a great guest coming on here tonight. An old friend, a good friend, and he's a big part of the local South Florida comedy community. We got Mr. Jim Patterson, who's going to join us in a little while. He's not coming on now, but we're going to bring him on in just a few after we get an opportunity to shoot the shit with you ourselves. Me and Nadeem were just talking a little earlier today about, we can't avoid the subject. I hate to sound cliche, but it's developing minute by minute. And Nadeem and I were just talking about what's happening across our country. It started in Minneapolis, and it seems that it has made its way to South Florida. Nadeem, what did you say is developing in Boynton? Well, Lake Worth.
Lake Worth right now it's going on. I know West Palm, Gonzo said they got 4 exits closed on 95. The protests are on the highway. I know they're going a little wild in Lake Worth and Las Olas. They started, gassing people out there with the tear gas, break up the crowds. We know what's happening in Miami. It's burning shit down last night. So it's getting a little wild. It's close to home. We're right in the middle of all this. So
right.
We'll see.
Yeah, you ain't kidding when you say it's close to home. It really is. And that makes us all really uncomfortable. But, look, the thing that started this all, I haven't heard any dissension in opinion. I've heard everyone unanimously saying that it's horrific, it was wrong, and the individuals that were involved should be held to the fullest extent. And I'm in agreement with that. I mean, what we saw with our own eyes.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I mean, it's inhumane what happened. And it's infuriating. There's so many emotions that come out when you watch that. But the thing is, I haven't seen anybody disagree. Now, I'm not saying that they're not out there. I don't know. Maybe they're somewhere. Maybe they were on a show someplace. Maybe they're talking in their houses. But I haven't seen anything myself from any TV show or any commentator or any politician or celebrity that is in disagreement with what you and I are saying. I think it's unanimous. I mean, have you seen anybody saying anything other than it's horrible?
No, I agree. It's everybody's I think is on the same page. It's a hard video to watch. I mean, there's no reason for loss of life there. It's just horrible all the way around. It's inhumane, like you said, and I understand why people are angry. And I think some of these guys that are looting and burning shit down and first responders can't come out. It's definitely taking away from the protests, the peaceful protests at that. So, but I'm seeing a lot of officers in Flint, Michigan. There's a couple other towns I can't think of, but the police were protesting with the people.
Yeah. Right. I've seen that. I've seen in some cities where I apologize. I don't know which city it was. I was scanning through some photos on Facebook. It was one city where the police, they were in front of the police department, and a lot of the police came outside and were kneeling with some of the
Yeah,
people in the
I saw
street
that. Yep.
in solidarity. So even in that environment, people are humans at the end of the day, and whoever's seen that, it's indefensible. What that guy is indefensible. I can't imagine what sort of revelation could come out from the extended play of the video, or what once it goes to trial and we're going to find out. I can't imagine what would justify that type of behavior. I just don't. I can't imagine anything that would justify that guy keeping his knee on that other human being's neck and choking him to death. That's what it is. I couldn't do that to an animal, like if it was a dog or any sort of animal. I couldn't. I don't think most people, when I say me, I don't think most people have the heart to do that. To do that to another human being is horrible.
Something missing there. That guy's been fucked up years before that incident. Just you get something's missing there and there when that that kind of behavior takes place, and the other officers, to be involved in that, it's shitty all the way around.
So whatever it is that drove that, I don't think that you're getting an argument you're not getting an argument from even a lot of cops around the country.
Yeah.
But yet there's a lot of disruption and there's a difference, in my opinion, between protesting and rioting. And the rioting scares me, because I think to myself, not only is it destruction of property, other people can die. People who had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
And while we could all understand the frustration, hurting others, killing others, I can't see how that's going to help. So as it moves across the country, I'm from Brooklyn. I saw it was in Brooklyn. I saw it was in Philadelphia, Phoenix,
I know, right?
Miami, everywhere. I think that it's scary as it keeps moving, and I hope it starts to die down.
I hope so too. So we need to get some positive from the horrible situation that took place. The people need to come together.
People definitely need to come together, and I hope that it doesn't get too politicized and too many outside influences take advantage of this situation and turn it into something that's out of control.
Yeah.
Because as horrible as it was, the country needs to heal. That community needs to heal. That family needs to heal.
Yeah.
So, well, that's all I want to say about that. But I thought it was just too out there for us to not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Because right now, my son told me that they're spraying gas in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
You said that there's something going on in
Lake Worth and West
Lake
Palm.
Worth, and we know Miami's got some action. I'm sure there's other areas in the state of Florida. People, my only advice is coming, in my opinion, there's no need to stir the pot. More people are going to get hurt.
Yep.
I hope justice is served on the people who did the wrong thing. All right? Let's have a toast. God bless.
This is George Floyd.
So, are you ready to bring on our guest, Nadeem? Should we bring this guy on?
Bring him after this topic, just right into the darkness.
Yeah, Jim is one of the darkest people I know. So I think he'll be fine. He's like a vampire. He said that.
Yeah, let's bring him on.
All right, cool. I'll do a little intro for him. Wait, let me tell a little about.
That's okay. He'll be on by the time we figure it out. Give him his intro.
I guess you're right.
Fucking film on the ceiling right now. He'll give him a couple more minutes.
Yeah, like this gentleman, like I said, he's also from South Florida, and he's a comic, and everybody knows him. He's famously known as Big Jim, Mr. Big Jim Patterson. Let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. There he is. All the way from Space Force. Space. What the fuck are you?
Goodness.
I got a pass for the night,
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, my name is the Obituaries. It's a good day,
That's right.
Jim, how you feeling today, bro? You look good.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. I went down to the Improv last night. Saw all our friends down there last night. It was a good night.
Tell us about that show, man. That's exciting news.
Yeah, I wanted to make it. I couldn't make it out. How was it?
They had a larger crowd than they did last night, Friday night.
Right.
Jay Guy was the host. Jackie Sanchez did a guest spot. Ramon was the feature, and Nariz.
Stands, yeah.
Yeah. He did an excellent job. He said he hadn't performed in 77 days. He said he was going to be a little rusty. He warmed up and he crushed it at the end. But the Improv looks completely different. They took out the middle seat, and Renee said they're only allowed to put 250 people in there. So they have some big headliners coming in. I think they're thinking about delaying them a little bit, because hopefully in September, they can put in the full crowd of 400. But they're limited to 250.
It seats a little more than that.
I know, but it's that's a tough nut to crack.
Well, good.
But they had about 100 people. But what was strange, I asked Jay, as the host, like people come in, like say 10 of us come in, we can all sit together, right next to each other. But then, say Nadeem and I come in by ourselves, so they're going to have us sit 3 seats away from that group of people. So the laughter was really strange. Weird, because over here there's 20 people, there's 4 people, it's
a lot of gaps. It's very pockety for the laughs.
Well, let's explain what you mean by that to our audience, because a lot of our audience is other comics, but some people aren't comics. And what Jim really means by that is, as a comic, when you're on stage, those laughs give us energy, and they kind of they're like fuel. It provides the direction that we go in. And if the laughs are coming back weak, or if they're in strange spots or there's no energy, it changes the way we deliver. Right? Did I represent that correctly? You guys agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're saying that there wasn't that full packed house where they're all together and that contagious laugh, like a roar comes in. It's hard to have that with the seating. Spots
hit and miss. You know what I'm saying? And that's what both Ramon and Jackie said the same thing. It was strange,
How did you think it affected their performance, or did they kind of adjust and fight through it?
Everybody was a little rusty, you know what I'm saying? And when Jackie came off, she said, "No, don't give me any negative vibes," And the headliner said he hadn't performed in 77 days, but I say the last 20 minutes, but he was back in form and he crushed it. He had the crowd eating out of his hands.
Well, that's good. And I mean, we've been down as a country, and as a community, comedy community. We were like Nadeem, right? It was like over 2.5 months before we hit the mic.
Yeah.
And all the bars and clubs have been shut. The Improv is it's the Mecca down here, so everyone's looking for the Improv for a little guidance. It means a lot to have them reopen.
It's the big leagues. It's the big show. Hey, Jim, can you dim down that helicopter light you got fucking floating over the top? What the fuck, dude? Are you doing surgery there?
It's my halo, dude. It's my halo.
I thought I was like, Jim, don't go to the light. Do not
forget to come back.
Go to the light, Jim. Oh man. All right. Yeah, much better, Jim. Much better. You look good.
Thank you. You look better in the dark.
Yeah, thank you. That's what my wife says.
Yeah, I was gonna say his wife says that every now and then. I've heard her say that. You know, they got married in the dark.
Yeah.
So, Jim, we should tell people how we know each other, man. I know Jim for a couple of years. You want to tell them, Jim?
Yeah. Well, we met Ramon Garcia at the Improv. We took his class for, you and I took 3 classes with Ramon, I think.
Yeah, I think it was at least 3. At least 3, yes. And that was close to 2 years ago.
Only one of you improved, and I'm talking about that. So it's just shows you how much, if you don't pay attention in school, things.
I got ADD. It's a medical condition, you fuck. Don't make, you know what? Go ahead, Jim. I don't want to let him ruin our flow. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I'd really appreciate if you'd interview me as Wilbur, David.
Oh, gosh. It was like, for some reason, we were in the class, and I could do certain voices, and I do this Southern guy, I call him Wilbur, and Jim would get a chuckle out of it every time. And you know me, I'm a whore. We're all whores for the cheap laugh, so I do it for him a lot. And he's like, man, you got to use that on stage. But I haven't come up with any dialogue for Wilbur, but he keeps pushing me. Thanks for doing that, Jim.
Yeah. You knew that was going to come up.
Yeah. Well, my wife has me use Wilbur voice in bed too. It's always a hit for her too. That's what you share. 2 of you. Thank you for that. But we know each other for a couple of years, and me and Jim, kind of hit it off. We were the 2 older guys in the class. Everybody else was maybe 20 plus years younger than us. So we bonded and developed a really good friendship, and I value it. And thanks again for being here. What is it you want to tell people what you do during your day job?
Yeah, I've been in construction, 55 years. I'm a construction manager. Like I've done everything from 32-story high rises to 350 units. Catholic churches. One of the last jobs before I retired was a 16,000 square foot house right down the street from Dan Marino's old house. So I've got quite a varied career in the construction industry. So that's keeps me busy during the day.
Sounds like a natural transition into comedy.
Yeah, like I said, hey, when I retire, let me go do comedy. Like it just.
Yeah. Nadeem.
That's great. We're glad to have you in the community. You're an icon in this community. We appreciate you. And you look like Deadpool, so that's like it's a bonus,
Is that the first time you've heard that one?
Yeah, it was actually the person who came up with it was Jackie Sanchez.
That little don't make me say it. Don't make me say it, Jim.
And I'd never heard of Deadpool. I had no idea. And then Jay Guy was in the class, and so he put it up on the screen, and then so I started writing a little bit of material about it, and it's kind of worked out for me, so I owe it to Jackie Sanchez, because I would have never looked in the mirror and said, "Hey, there's Deadpool,"
Oh, I'm sure you're like, Mary. It's all thanks to Jackie Sanchez. You married Deadpool.
Yeah.
You're famous now.
Yeah.
We got Steve Lamb and G-Man tuned in. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah, I don't see.
Cheers if you're drinking. And I know Steve doesn't drink. G-Man's doing push-ups or yoga right now. Something I should be doing. I'm working on it, G-Man. I'm working on it.
Hello, G-Man and Steve Lamb, Mr. Ukulele himself. Hey, Nadeem, why don't you take the next one?
I want to take. All right. You've been doing comedy, I'll ask you how long you've been doing it, but I don't want to know. I'm just I got some questions in from the fans. So
okay.
This one anonymous. I don't know who sent this one in, but it says, "What was it like opening up for Jesus Christ?"
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
That is so. That's.
It was a soulful moment. Yeah.
No,
they're
but
going to hell
seriously-
for that one. They're going to hell for that one.
Ah,
Don't worry
I'll
about
see
it.
you there. No,
Yeah.
who are your comedy influencers, Jim?
Henry Cho, like my
Henry
top,
Cho, huh?
yep. He's
He's from
South
Tennessee, I think, right?
Yeah, he's South Korean, born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
You know, so he's got a Southern accent
Yep.
I'll be.
and purebred South Korean. You know.
I heard he's a killer. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah. I drove to Jacksonville to go see him perform. You know, that's how much I was influenced. You know, I wanted to see him. And then he came down and performed at the Kelsey Theater and the Black Box recently, you know. He's
Yeah,
a big
Nathan
golfer.
Wallace opened up for him on that show, right?
Hmm?
Nathan Wallace was his
Yeah,
feature.
Nathan did. And
Yeah,
when
he's
I went
another
to,
great comic.
yeah, and then when I went to Jacksonville, Ron Hartman,
Mhm.
you know,
Okay,
opened for him up there, you know.
nice. So Henry Cho, who else? Who else you like?
Jimmy Schubert, you know,
Jimmy
like
Schubert, great
he's-
guy, great comic.
Very
yeah,
funny.
he's and he just did a thing for Comic Cure, you know. They did like a seminar on everything that you can think of from A to Z, and you know, Jimmy's been doing comedy since he was 18. He went to L.A. but he started out as a magician, believe it or not. You know,
Really?
and that gave him his stage presence, so to speak. You know, so when he started getting into the stand-up, he already had stage presence, and so he went out to LA and got to be the doorman at the comedy club, and that's where he said he got to watch bad comics, good comics, and then his big break was I guess he was like he went on stage and took Sam Kinison off stage on a motorcycle. And Kennison fell in love with him, you know, and mentored him and took him on tour with him, you know. And that was kind of his big break, his mentor in the industry. He says, you can be funny, but he says, everybody not only needs to be funny, you need a break, you know, or a mentor that can open doors for you, you know.
That's great. I got a question from G-Man.
Right.
You know G-Man. He says, do you ever manscape before a show?
Gee, man, it's so inappropriate. So inappropriate.
But hear me out. I can tell a story about a friend of mine. I'm not going to name any names.
Mm.
He was going to have sex with this girl for the very first time.
Mm.
So he manscaped.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So he did that. But in the meantime, before he was going to have sex with this girl, he got an ingrown hair and got a boil.
Oh,
And that boil stayed there for days. So they never got to consummate that story.
So he screwed himself. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Coming
yeah.
at you people.
I'm not-
Bam, 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 motherfucker.
I'm
I
not
get paid to
naming
do
any
this shit
names.
sometimes.
Is that
I'm not
Borzon
naming
cheese
any
you're
names.
serving up there, boy? What are you doing? Oh,
Killing myself.
oh.
I'm good right now, I think.
No, it was a good joke, Jim.
You going in?
At some point in time. Listen, so Schubert started at 18. That's a little bit different than the age you started at. I mean, you jumped into the game pretty late. How old were you when you jumped in?
69.
Woo, good year.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what prompted that, man? Why all of a sudden are you thinking to yourself, like, I mean, most people are ready to retire, get in a hammock.
Well, I made the decision to retire at 66. You know, I was getting my knee replaced and my hip replaced. And so, you know, I retired. And so I decided to just take this comedy class, you know, at the Improv, you know. And, you know, it was Ramon's class, you know. It was April 6, 2016. Jackie Sanchez and I were in the same class together, you know. It's her very first day and my very first day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you retire, retirement isn't everything it's all cracked up to be. You know, my identity, you know, for, 40 years has been a superintendent on construction sites, you know, so you kind of lose your identity a little bit. So I just took the one class, and the intent was just to take that one class.
Right.
And yeah, I just got kind of hooked on it, you know. And Ramon, it was a fun class. Ramon's a great teacher. You know, got me into, you know, the writing aspect of it. You know, he also made the comment. You know, like I think it was like maybe the second time I took the class. He said, Jim, these conversations with your wife are golden. You know what I'm saying? Hey, fuck you, Ramon. Like, fuck, that ain't gonna be funny. But you know, my comedy is basically based upon my marriage. You know, so.
So was he saying that your marriage was a joke? I got him too, Nadeem. I got him too.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, but say that like Wilbur for me, okay?
Oh boy, it's just a joke. Hey, I hope Mare is not listening or offended if she is listening.
No. Like,
yeah. Because
I told everybody, I said, hey, Mare, I made you famous. And she says, Jim, you made me infamous, you know?
How about you? Now, a lot of people who know you, and they're all listening, some of them, you know, like G-Man, you know, he's out there waiting for the moment to jump in and break more balls. But people who know you know that you have some children who come to the shows, and they hear you talking about some of your marital situations.
Yeah, the one son hates it.
Yeah. Because for people who haven't seen you on stage, Jim could get a bit explicit at times, and it's awesome. It's extremely entertaining. Even your wife laughs, but if it's your wife's son, how does he react?
Well, you know, my youngest son, you know, Mark, gives me advice, you know, like, you know, when I was doing this joke with about Gizmo doing a doggy style, you know, I was supposed to be showing, you know, imitating, do a doggy style on stage. And Mark says, Dad, you're doing it all wrong. So he grabbed his wife and said, Dad, this is how you should do it on stage, you know. Meantime, the other son is just mortified, you know. Yeah, he wants to fall under a table, you know.
Your other son probably wants to murder you. Like, come on, that's my mom, Daddy. Come on.
That's exactly what he says, you know.
Yeah.
Dad, how can you do that, you know?
Right. It was like, well, son, I can't talk about my girlfriend on stage. Your mother's in the room. Come on. Well, that's good. All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of which, okay, I know your style. You want to tell the audience what your favorite genre of comedy is? Like, you know, different comics, like Chew, or is it? What's your favorite comic's name again? What's his name?
Schubert and Henry Cho.
Henry Cho, right? He's a clean comic.
David, stay with it. All right.
I'm sorry, I had a few. Henry Cho is a clean comic. Would you describe yourself as a clean comic?
Well, when I first started, you know, like I use the F word a lot. I don't use the F word anymore.
That's fucked up.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Yeah. But you know, I would say that, you know, I'm definitely not PG-13, but let's call me a low-rated R.
Really? So you would consider bringing a dildo on stage a low-rated R?
Hey, I've only done that twice.
Except you bring two on stage sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
How about the time I was there when you actually threw it on the stage and Ramon Garcia had to actually duck out of the way like he was in the Matrix. Yeah.
Imagine dicks.
With bullets flying by him, except it was a big penis.
Not today.
He was like, no.
But the best thing was
slow-mo.
The headliner didn't see me perform.
Yeah.
And when it came on stage, Ramon didn't move or anything. And it was laying right by the Christmas tree. And the guy goes, what the fuck happened up here? There's a dildo right next to the Christmas tree. You know? And he stopped. He was like a loss of words for about 5 seconds. You know?
You are a bit twisted, but that works. That does work in comedy, man. I mean, it's I would, if you're gonna ask me, which you haven't, but I'll tell you anyway, I would describe you as not the bluest comic in the world, but you are not I'd say Jim Patterson gets involved in adult conversation, and I enjoy it, and most adults would enjoy it. And I think it's really funny because, guys, people see you coming up on stage, and you're a little bit older, and I think the shock value, the kind of cute shock value, is that this guy's talking about getting laid all of a sudden. We weren't able to hook up one of your videos, but one of my favorite jokes is you talking about your ED and your dementia in combination.
Yeah.
I always love that.
I started out, how many men out here have erectile dysfunction, and then, then I go into how many women in here wish their men had erectile dysfunction, then I went to erectile dysfunction clinic for a friend,
For a friend.
For a friend. So, Doc, how do you cure this? We use electrical stimuli on your penis. So you shock the cock, and then I go into a real quick thing about, hey, Mayor, it's going to cost $3,000, but we can do one or two things. We can either make Mad Passion love again, or we can go to Paris, France. The choice is yours. My wife says, parlez-vous français.
Do you feel that stand-up has helped you with your dementia? You seem sharper since I met you. I mean, we've done the same 15 minutes on this show since we started. This is our third 15-minute session. So we've asked you these questions twice before. But you're doing great.
Jim, he's fucking with you. He's fucking with you, Jim. Don't let him do that to you. He's cunning. He's very cunning. He does this. This is why they haven't been able to arrest him. Okay?
They all the same questions.
The authorities go round and round with him. They start thinking, are we being interrogated? Are we the guys on trial here? He can do this. Okay?
But let me tell you this, and this is the truth. Nadeem, this is the truth. I'm sharper than I was at 66 when I retired. I've gone back to work, and it's due to it's due to the comedy. The way my therapist explained it to me, we're using a different part of our brain for the comedy, the writing of creative juices, which, in my industry, like I manage chaos and you solve problems all day long. This is completely different type of use of our brain,
Absolutely.
And I make fun of the dementia, but, my family, like my sister's got Alzheimer's pretty bad, but the dementia is just, I used it for a cover because when I first started, I couldn't remember fucking shit up there on stage, so like I said, hey, I'll use this dementia thing to, if I forget something, I'll go, oh, dementia,
That's great.
Yeah, that's it. Like
all I can remember, folks. I've seen you do it. That's all I can remember. Have a good night. It's only done 30 seconds. What's happening?
I've seen him use that.
You're
I've seen him use that.
Jim.
People, this ain't easy. Come on now. Yeah.
Hey, that one joke. Hey, the joke I was going to tell you that I can't remember. It was pretty fucking funny,
It works. It's great.
Well, I like when the joke that your son hates, which is you talking about your dog coaching you on doing a doggy style.
Yeah.
And you use the Spanish accent because he's a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Señor Jim.
We just got a new tag, Gizmo comes in the bedroom, he thinks that I'm an Asian massage parlor. He comes over and flops over on his back and till I rub his belly. And then it gets awkward when we make eye contact. And I tell Gizmo, there's no happy ending here, Gizmo,
That is some good shit. What are you doing now, too? Because, Jim, I know that you're still aggressively staying in the game. This is a passion of yours.
Correct.
What are you doing now to continue to grow and improve yourself? What
I've been doing?
What's your method?
With Ben and Richie Lease, I've been. I'm going into my second month. I'm working on doing a 20-minute set, and on Sundays I meet with them. And what they had me do, we wrote all my jokes, line by line.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like 105, but like one joke could, like be 4 lines. And, we work on them and fine tune them. And one of the things with Jimmy Schubert and with Richie and Ben Push is concisely funny. In other words, like one of the Jimmy Schubert things is he has a joke and he tells the joke and he'll take 1 or 2 words out of it. And as long as it's still funny, he'll use it and then he'll take out another word. In other words, he wants to be more concisely funny.
He's trimming the fat.
Yeah. That's one of the big things that they talk about. And the Comic Cure just they got all these seminars coming up. Like Jimmy Schubert, talked about comedy for an hour and a half from A to Z. About how he got into the comedy on TV. He talked about how much money you can make when you go to that ACA, the college campus things. He covered everything that you can imagine, and they only charged $10 for it. It's amazing. You can still go get it online from Comic Cure. It's just really, the guy's a real pro. Plus, he was sharing, what I'm saying? And he was enthusiastic about it,
That's a great thing. Let's shout out Comic here. Those guys are great, doing a lot of great work out there.
Ben
Benjamin
and
Lees,
Richie do a lot for the community. Yeah.
A lot of good
Lees
stuff
brothers.
for the community from the West Coast to here, so shout out to those guys, especially for if you're a newer comic coming up, or even if you've been doing it and you want some direction and some coaching on some stand-up and performance, definitely check out Comic Cure. Those guys are great. So shout out to them. Cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
Cheers.
Raise your V8. I don't know what you're.
Yeah. I haven't drank in 45 years. Yeah.
Jim's a Pepsi guy.
For you.
Yeah. Hey, can I talk about the funeral for a second?
You can talk
The funeral,
about
your movie. Yeah.
Your movie.
We're doing a sequel to it.
Oh boy, how is it going to be a sequel? At a funeral? What is this, like the afterlife? What is this?
You nailed it. You remember the movie Ghost?
I usually do.
Yeah. Well, Mark and Eric didn't come to the funeral. Right. So they have some questions. So like they're going to send their wives with iPhones. And Carl Remy is going to be like Whoopi Goldberg. And then, we're going to see how that turns out. And then we're going to add that to the funeral, and then we're going to send it to Europe.
Well,
listen,
that sounds interesting.
It does, and it sounds like fantasy world like shit. Okay, and that's because your dramatic, mentality. I want to make comment because I enjoyed your first movie very much so. As a matter of fact, it was very creative and it was great acting. It was very comical, but there was something I found.
Let's not get carried away now.
But I will say this, okay? I found that it was very interesting that you gave yourself you didn't have Mare in the movie as your wife, and she's a lovely woman, and she's charismatic, and I think she could have filled that spot really nice, but you chose a woman that was about half your age to play your wife. How did Mare feel about that?
She was happy, Mary's got a little bit of Jackie Sanchez social anxiety, like she could never do that, I mean, she could have, but she, the fear would have been too great,
I thought would she have been upset if there was like maybe a lovemaking scene in the movie with your actor wife?
Well, let me tell you, David wasn't there, but I came down to Gonzo's show before, and that girl Sam was there. And she started, and Nadeem, she started rubbing my thigh. She said,
Jesus, you made it out.
And your wife was in the building there.
And she was sitting right, like over there, playing Scrabble on her friends. But she's, and so Sam says, "How's that feel?" I said, "Sam, I got erectile dysfunction." So on the way back to Los Angeles, I said, "Hey, Mary, did you see that girl rub my thigh?" She goes, "Yeah," and she says, "If she gets it hard, she has to tell me how, But if she doesn't, I'm going to slap you the next time, Jim.
She's a good sport, man. She really is.
Yeah. Well, this December we'll be married 50 years.
I don't know. Is
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he follows David.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
talking to Gonzo. Let me cut you off. Go ahead. I forgot I was here.
Yeah, that's a big deal, Jim. Being married 50 years, that's a big commitment. I'm married 24 years, and I feel like that's a big accomplishment, and it is. But 50, you've more than doubled me. So hats off to you and your wife for putting up with each other for as long as you have. And I know you have 2 great kids and a great life together. So God bless you guys, man.
I appreciate it.
One question before I forget to ask, for your sequel, who are you making pottery with? And for the ghost, is it gonna be Carl? Is behind you? Like, who's doing the whole thing with the hands?
Is G-Man coming up behind you? Is he gonna straddle you and then hold your hands? And then he's going to sing in your ears.
Just trust the process. Just trust the process.
Yeah.
Kathy from Human Resources.
We're going to do pottery. We're going to make dildos. We're going to make dildos.
Why does your pottery look like
what kind of pot is
toy?
This? I don't know.
That is, yeah. Jim, you're writing as you're speaking. I'm going to write that one down because you have dementia. You won't remember it, but you need to put that in the movie, in the script.
They didn't forget shit.
And I think that G-Man should be in the movie, and he should be wearing a wig, kind of like Sylvester Stallone in Nighthawks, when he turns around and he's got the beard, and that was a great scene.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. All right. The creative juices are flowing. So what, you do a lot in your position. You've developed relationships with a lot of the younger comics. Some you have mentioned here, like Jackie Sanchez, Jay Guy. You developed some really close relationships. How do you see yourself like working with those guys to help them to elevate and helping yourself and strengthening a network and a community in South Florida? Because that's really important.
Well, yeah, I think I'm just always positive with them, and
headphones are loud.
Yeah.
So are you, Nadeem. We're listening.
The headphones were way too loud. I tried to put them on, and I can't hear shit now. Go ahead, Jim. Sorry to.
Yeah. Like with Jackie, helped her, promote some shows, got her started over the Backstage Cafe, and I think that had a good growth process for her is like becoming like a little businesswoman, over there, and I think that helped her grow. And then Jay Guy and I, I suggested we go up and see Eddie Brill. We took a seminar up in Orlando with Eddie Brill, and Eddie gave some Jay Guy some good advice for the industry. So that's it. And and I find it's good for myself, because like I'm not talking about my cholesterol and how my balls itch. You know what I'm saying?
But by all means, talk about it here on the show.
Do whatever you want.
If you need to freshen up, we could go get ourselves a drink while you powder. We get some. We get a little fluffernutter going.
Fluff and puff,
Oh boy! But you know what? For people who know Jackie and Jay, they know that they're 2 very extraordinarily talented comics down here in South Florida, who've really, really excelled. And as a matter of fact, Jackie was she came in first in Miami's
Ultimate Comedian.
She won the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, she did.
Her timing was
job.
perfect in the second round. Of course, 2 years in a row, I did not make it to the second round, but I did make it 2 years in a row to that competition. Pretty much is what I'm saying is I'm a very good placer. That's really what I wanted to say.
What he's saying is bet on Nadeem to show. You know what I mean?
I will always show.
Okay. But no, Nadeem, I was there that night and Nadeem killed. Jackie had an awesome night, and she wound up taking the prize that night. That was down in Miami, and she's extremely talented, and we love her here on the show.
Bomb.
And Jay Guy, another guy that's huge in our community.
That's my brother.
Yeah, he's all our brother. He's not just your brother. He's my brother too. Okay.
All right.
Raise your glass. Anyway, he did great in Florida's Funniest recently with you as well. You seem to be involved in all these things, and two very talented guys. And you know what? I know that they appreciate the relationship with you, and I know you have a lot of respect for them too. And it's nice to see the age difference, because you're a little bit older than those guys, and yet that common thread allows you guys to have a real strong relationship. And that's what comedy provides for a lot of us. It's what brought me and you together, and me and Nadeem together, and Gonzo together. And it's a great thing to have. And I know a lot of people in the community appreciate having you and what you bring to the community.
Yeah, and David, you and Sadman, Nadeem, you know, what you've done for comedy, you know, holding a group of comics, and, you know, that gave them incentive to stay together and stay in the comedy. You know, like you kind of, with all the rooms that you've created and the tours that you've done, has really been a blessing for a lot of people, you know, because not everybody has the organization skills. And then David, you know, you've kind of taken the lead in the industry of, you know, the restaurants and the bars, and, you know, providing a lot of opportunity that otherwise would not be there for myself. I've been on stage a few times with you, and, you know, it's really great that you do that.
Yeah. We all contribute in our own way. And like I said, I feel like we got a real strong community.
It is a great community. One of the strongest, I'll say, in the country. And I've been to LA, I've been to DC, I've been to Detroit scene. I've done comedy a handful of places in the Midwest and all around the country. This scene is the strongest comic wise, and as far as everyone being together, we're very strong. Even though there's a little separation with some places, but all in all, everyone sticks together, and it's a great scene, and we're growing. And California and New York are starting to recognize that. That's why these guys are coming down here to do more time. They're able to do 45 minutes, an hour plus, as opposed to, you know, going somewhere and getting a spot. Even if you're a bigger guy, you're getting 10-minute spot or 15-minute spot. I mean, the Comedy Store gives guys 15 minutes. These are the top guys in the country. You're not running 45 minutes there or an hour, you know. You can come down here and run your time however you want, and then go back and shoot your special wherever. So Florida's a special place, and it's growing a lot, and I love it, and I love the community here, and everyone's a big part of that, especially Sadman. There's a list of names. I'm not going to get into that game. Last time I was drinking.
It's all the people we mentioned here tonight. Everyone has contributed, and that's what makes it such a beautiful community. And everyone gets along really well. It's going nowhere but up. It really is. Yeah. And I mean that. And Jim, you know, you brought one of the best venues to the group, which was the Backstage Cafe, which recently had to, you know, they moved out. Okay.
Yeah, so they finally sold it, by the way.
Good.
Well, good for them. Good people, great people. But for over a year, right, it was maybe one of the best venues for our community to get together on a weekly basis and work out and iron out material for a lot of the local comics. And Jackie was in charge of that room. She did a great job over there. And you were a big part of bringing all that together. And that's one of the things that we could attribute to you and the way you bring a network together. So, you know, like I said, everybody contributes down here, and that's what makes our community special. And I'm a New Yorker, so one of the things Nadeem was saying.
Just kidding.
Why? You know? Anyway, ex-New Yorker. I'm down here 23 years, but I get up there every now and then, and I have relationships with some friends who are comics up there. and we communicate, and they're telling me that more and more people are making trips down here specifically to spend a week so that they could get out, and they schedule themselves to get out to open mics. They try to get to 2 or 3 open mics a night down here between Fort Lauderdale and Delray Beach. Okay. Or even up to West Palm, you know, that's something they can't accomplish up in New York. And, you know, New York is New York, LA is LA. Not looking to compete with them, but we can provide more opportunity because we aren't as congested as they are. And we do have a lot of New Yorkers, and we have opened a lot of rooms, and it's a great opportunity for them. They specifically fly down here, schedule their week to get mic time. A lot of like what Nadeem was mentioning before. So we're proud of what we've developed so far, and I got no reason to believe that that we're not going to eventually get to a much more developed place. And I agree with Nadeem that people are taking notice in other parts of the country.
Jim, what's up, motherfucker?
Yeah, no, I was pretending to be Nadeem, you know, because a couple times I watched the show and I said, "Does Nadeem know how to talk?"
It happens.
Nadeem.
I'm going to tell you, it happens. You know, there's a couple shows where I was I'm gonna be honest. One of them, I smoked some weed, and I'm not an avid weed smoker.
It was medicinal.
I thought I was watching a show. I forgot that I was on the show for most of the time. And they go, "You need to say something," and I was like, "What the?" It happened, you know. My back felt great though. My back pain went away. It was good.
It was CBD oil, really.
I gotta be in a certain mood, you know. That's why I'm so glad to be back here and at Gonzo Radio. Like when I'm in studio, like I just feel different. I feel better. Things are moving. When I'm at my house, like my mind wanders. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking put the phone somewhere because I don't have anything to hold it.
Oh, Nadeem, yeah, before I forget, I'm so sorry about your. Hey, Nadeem, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about your grandmother.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Is this a joke that
that went over? Hey, people were laughing at that promo last night. That went over very good.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I'm glad to hear that because I'm a nervous guy in general, a lot of anxiety. So it took a while. What's his name?
The second time that you said my grandmother's still dead, the place cracked up.
Miguel did a great job editing that video out because he did the magic. He made the best of whatever I spit out at the time. I didn't think they would have any. I thought I would get cut from the video, to be honest.
Oh no, you were what I remember is you had 2. I can't remember if you were in it 2 times. You
I
talked
think it was
about your grandmother twice.
three little clips.
Did you come out of the bathroom one time?
No, I didn't do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was funny.
Sounds your style. That does sound like your style.
Sounds like your style. Yeah, I know. I'm from Brooklyn.
I'm telling you, the second time when you said your grandmother's still dead, the place erupted. Yeah, I mean that got like the whole thing went very well.
Oh,
very well received. Yeah.
Now I gotta go watch a show just to see myself on TV. You know what it feels like? It feels like watching Burger King again, where I'm going, it was good, but there's still no checks coming in. I got nothing.
You know,
I got nothing, people.
Goddamn
impossible.
To draw upon the deceased for a laugh, I don't think that there's anything.
The people in that audience last night laughed, you know.
Yeah.
And I was sitting back there with everybody, you know, Ramon, Jay Guy, and they'd seen it being shot, you know, and everybody was still laughing back there. But the audience up front, you know, it went over very well.
Well, it's just good that they have some good, video captured of Nadeem, just in case the authorities need it in the future. Anyway.
Look at me.
Yeah. Okay. Look, you had that coming. All right.
I'm a yoga instructor.
Yoga instructor. That's one of your jokes.
Nights a week.
He's
got a man bun. Does he do hot yoga?
But what was very nice, what I thought about the whole thing was like, it was the whole local scene of the A class of all the local people, basically. Nadeem, Casey Conley. The only person that missed it was David.
Yes. Well.
Yeah, well, you
thank-
said A class, so you're not. You can't just make shit
Son
up.
of a
I
bitch.
appreciate.
I have to drink to drown the
You're a
pain.
nice guy.
I have to. I have to pour myself a fresh one after that.
Yeah.
That was
He's got a
nasty.
handle every week.
Yeah.
You know what he did? He taps that bottle, Jim, every week. And we don't see this, but I'm sure he goes out, starts yelling at the kids. Why do you go sleep in the garage?
If I had a dog, I'd kick it. I swear to God, I don't.
Gizmo, come back here, buddy.
Or your dog.
If I had a dog, I'd kick it.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Jim? Just want to ask you before we let you go. What do you got? What do you got planned? What's your big plans, brother? What's your big move? What are you gearing up to do so we can support you, brother?
We went over and did 2 years ago. We did a show at the VA, and then they had a different psychiatrist come in, and he thought it was a bad idea. Then they got a different psychiatrist brought us back. I went over with G-Man and Steve Lamb, Jill. So the game plan was to do
The fucking hacker.
I know you hacked in. Go ahead. Don't let him break your flow, Jim. You stay focused. Don't worry about Brett. He's not there.
Son of a bitch.
How's it going, guys?
Fucking terrorism.
This is the chat fight crew because I broke in on their show earlier. Now this is what we call retribution.
There better be some titties coming out.
Retribution.
I just saw that guy. I just saw that guy break a window down at Lake Worth Avenue.
They
I
gassed
heard
him.
you were talking
He just
about
woke up.
dogs, and I figured I'd show up because I'm the dog of the chat fight group.
And those girls, I think they're hookers.
Yeah. Live from Poland.
See, only
I'm
someone
looking
Jim's
for a
age.
pierogi.
Only someone Jim's age to get away with calling women prostitutes to their face and not get slapped.
Pierogies and cannolis. Yeah, come get it. I got some
Oh boy.
They get
Oh
it.
boy. Oh boy. Who let you in?
All right.
Who let the
Look at
dogs
this.
out? Listen to me.
You're
You
fucking
guys,
Brett's
you guys
hammered.
have been drinking since the end of your show.
Brett, you've been drinking.
Oh, I've been drinking since 10:30 in this morning.
Oh boy.
Well, god damn.
This is like Key West for you.
And you're building boat engines. Hey, somebody's gonna get some fucked up fucking work done.
All right.
I heard
Listen,
there was a curfew, and I'm like, "Fuck that curfew! I'm driving."
ladies and gentlemen, welcome Brett
Brett
Morris from the chat fight and his two well, they're nameless. Okay, the blonde and the brunette.
Apparently, we're all sleeping in Sharon's bed.
Well, listen to me. I don't know if there's much sleeping going on, but you know, solid. Love you girls. Listen, all right, calm down. Jim's got to answer this last question before he forgets what he was saying. Say it, Jim. What are you doing moving forward?
What we want to do is do a show to raise money to send vets to comic classes.
Vets.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of vets. The Dolphin Alumni Association sponsors us, some of the vets.
Right.
And some of those guys come back with PTSD and stuff, and the commies help them. So however, the VA is basically shut down, and then it doesn't look like we could do anything with them till February. It looks like,
Well, that seems like a great cause.
Yes, I agree.
Is there anything that you've seen that comedy works to have an effect with people in that situation?
Well, it's kind of like therapy. I went to a convention that they had over there, and they had all the different types of the therapy dogs. You know how much it costs for a therapy dog for a vet?
Much.
$30,000.
30 grand.
Yeah.
You could buy like 10 dogs like that.
I know. But these dogs can sense when someone's getting ready to have an anxiety attack or that PTSD. just change these guys' lives.
You give me 30 grand, I'll sense whenever you're ready to fucking have a heart attack. I'll tell you exactly what's gonna happen. Doesn't matter. I'll be like, something's happening now. I can feel it.
As a married guy, I'm thinking I should spend the 30 grand to get one of those dogs in the house. He could tell me when my wife's about to go fucking nuts on me so I could get out right beforehand.
You know when to break.
I can't figure it out.
You're bringing a great message. I think we need to raise money to get these things for comics that are married.
Right. The dog could be like, get the fuck out. She's about to bug out on you. Bro, get the key. He come over to me with the keys, with my car keys in his mouth, like, go now. I'll cover you. I'll block the door. You leave. Get the fuck out.
Class will freak the fuck out.
Does Jim Patterson have a promo code that we can get a good cheap ass desk over here real quick?
A good cheap. Oh, the ass desk, man.
Ass desk.
You gotta go to what's it? Comedy jerks or travel jerks or
comedy?
Yeah.
Travel jerks. Dan and Minda. Shout out to them.
The ass desk.
Joanna.
Hey, listen to me. Big
Joanna.
Jim.
Hold on. Joanna, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Do me a favor. Shut the fuck up, all right?
Listen, last time you told me to go fuck myself.
We got Jim Patterson here, all right?
Okay. We got Big Jim Patterson.
How is that?
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. How are you? Oh my God.
See, I was thinking about telling David the same thing when I was trying to end the show like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
I wasn't on. I wasn't involved in that. It had nothing to do with that.
Listen, they're trying to get even now because I showed up as the obnoxious.
Nadeem, Joanna has something she want to say.
No, I was just, can you
Go
hear
ahead,
me?
say it.
No, I was like gonna say, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. We're not
Why
in
didn't you
Poland.
shut me up?
What? I missed it.
Put something on my face so I can shut up.
Ooh, mama. I've heard that
like
before.
Put something on my face so I can shut up. It's put something in my mouth so I
Whatever.
Hey,
That's what I said. I said
Come on, Nadeem. Haven't you ever heard of a reverse 69?
Wait,
Oh my God.
I know you're
too
trying not to.
raunchy and vulgar for me. I'm a
All right, slow down, slow
Sharon,
down.
don't feed her information, Sharon.
Slow down, everybody. I'm here to bring peace.
She's
Jim.
teaching.
No.
She's teaching
very
me.
loud. You're very loud.
Okay,
We got to get her
Joanna,
fucking deported. We got to get her.
relax.
We gotta fucking.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Relax.
So
Jim,
shut up.
Jim,
If you want me
Jim-
to.
Brad, take her out.
is she still
Listen,
talking?
if you watch the show was I'll do anything for love. So shut me up, baby.
You'll do anything for love. I'm gonna hire a male hooker or a female hooker, whatever you're into,
Oh, you
to make you pierogies. I don't know what you're into.
You're the best. You're the best. Do it. Do it. I dare you. You're the
Just
best.
please don't ever show up at my mailbox or pop out of my bushes when I get to my house. That's all I can ask.
I wear
I'm
a mask.
36.
I
I
wear a
gotta carry
mask.
Mace around in case she fucking pops out of my
Okay,
Put the
funny.
heater away. I don't want to fucking hurt you, but I'll put you down. You know what I mean?
I don't.
You know, I haven't been working out as much as I'd like.
He
I've
might
lost
put his
some
knee
muscle
on your
mass. I
neck,
don't want
is
her
what
to
he's
fucking
saying.
overtake me.
Between you and I don't know who would put who down. Let's, I'm not a vegan, so hello.
Oh.
All right, it's just.
She might take top mount position and rip the organ off.
Can we regain control of this somehow again?
I'm letting you fucking flounder because you decided to engage. You
I'm just saying.
engaged.
Uh,
All right,
All right.
Joanne, thank you so much for being here tonight.
So,
We're gonna get back
That's
into an
fucking
English
disturbing.
speak.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Oh, Brett, that is talent. Gene
I've been to the
Simmons.
acupuncturist. The white tongue says you got some gut health issues, some stomach, something going on with your stomach, brother.
Anyway, Big Jim, let's get back to our guest. Can we get back to our guest, please? Jim, so you got a great cause going on with people with PTSD, which is awesome.
Thank you, Brad. If that was you.
That was. I know it was Brad. He's like an angel in the sky. so you have your ex-military guys, and if there's a way for people to help, are you looking for people to help with that?
Well, the VA is basically shut down right now. You know, the people who are the people that I would be communicating with, you know, they're off campus. They don't think they're going to get back on campus till September. It's they're on lockdown over there also. You know what I'm saying? You can only go there for certain reasons. So I think it's going to have to be something that's going to happen. February is Veterans Affairs Month. I think it's going to have to be something done in February.
Well, we're there. Whatever you need, we're going to be in support of that, because we respect the military, and especially the people that come back from serving this country with all those PTSD and all that whole nine. I've got a lot of buddies that served, and I know it's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to help.
Nadeem is right, and we got a lot to be grateful for. So if you don't have it, like if it's not at that point yet, when you do have it structured to the point where you're looking for people to contribute, and there's a way for people to contribute, we have a very generous community. So get that information to us. We'll be happy to post it and communicate it here on the show and help you in whatever way we can, Jim. It's really great of you to
it'll be a fun night. It's gonna be a different type of comedy show. So like it's gonna be like wine and cheese and a little bit of music beforehand. Like a fancy, a fancier comedy show, so to speak. To raise money.
Well, that's great.
We're here. We're here when you're ready for that, and we're eager to support, and we thank you for heading that up. Jim, thanks so much for coming out tonight, brother.
I sure appreciate it. Nadeem,
thank you. Yeah. We love you so much. We appreciate you, and I hope to see you in person soon enough. You shaved the beard off. You look great.
Hey, my wife noticed it.
That's it.
And I started growing it back again. And the third day she came over and said, "Hey, you're growing a beard again." I said, "No, I'm not. I just want to see if you would notice."
Yeah. Before you, yeah, you had posted that you shaved it and didn't tell her. How long did it take her before she noticed?
Well, it took her almost 48 hours, and actually somebody called her up and said, "Hey, you notice anything different about your husband?" She goes, "No." It was like 48 hours before she noticed. Yeah.
And I'm sure she was complaining the whole way. It just goes to show you, sometimes they just complaining because they like the complaint.
Well, my wife belittles me, but it's okay. It lets me know that she's still breathing.
Yeah. Well, here's to her. You send my love, send our love, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Big Jim.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you.
Be well.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Hey, can I lay my phone down now? Is that okay, David?
You do whatever you got to do.
Whatever you want. It's your world.
I love Jim. He's high technology. All right, as long as flip it over, Jim. Flip it over, Jim. That light is killing us.
He's not going anywhere.
Face down. There you go. Your Brad's gonna kill him. Brad, kill him. Yeah. Kill him. All right. Thanks again for Big Jim. Shout out for
Big. And he's back again, ladies. He doesn't fucking.
You're like Jason in the movie. You're like Jason in fucking Halloween. You can't fucking kill this guy.
Oh my God, the funeral again, part 2. Holy shit.
There, he's gone. Good. Red. Oh my God. Isn't there a red button that you could have hit quicker? I love you, Brad. I love you. You did a great job.
That's a man.
He is good. That man could zap me from where he's sitting. That was Big Jim Patterson.
Yes.
He's my future. Okay. I will be Big Jim one day, except a lot shorter. Okay. But I'm going to be in the exact same situation as him. I'll have ED and dementia, and my wife will still hate me. So there you go.
Your wife will still hate you. There's nothing we can do about that.
Nothing. No. Right. But that's what Jim provides for you. He provides for you a peek into the future. So,
Okay.
hey, we're going to go into our final segment here, which is the boob of the week. The big boob of the week. Boo, 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 boo. We don't have special effects because we have a very low budget. So I'm going to make that noise. The big boob. I'll do it again. All right. Big boob of the week. I'll announce it. And then
You want to announce it, or you just want to shoot the shit?
Now, I want to announce what it is. Big boob of the week is it's the guy. Okay, I got a specific guy who prompted this thought, but it's not just one guy. This guy is out there. When South Florida is now in phase 1, phase 2 in certain counties. So we have our venues, our bars and restaurants are back open, but they're not at 100%. They're between 50 and 75%, depending on where you are. And people are still a little hesitant, a little standoffish because Corona hasn't gone away. We learned a lot. We've educated ourselves and we're getting back out there and we're adjusting our behavior and trying to keep that 6 to 10 foot buffer between each other. Now, if I'm with a family member or a friend, they could sit with me, but strangers should stay away from us, right? Now, the big boob is the drunken asshole who walks over and thinks he's part of your group and starts, loud mouthing you and, hacking on you. And you're like, bro, have you been in a fucking cave? Stay the fuck away from me. I don't know you. And you're making me uncomfortable. And then we were in that situation recently. And that's the big boob of the week. Nadeem, do you have an opinion?
I saw that guy coming before he turned the corner.
Usually
And
do.
they threw him out twice, which means he got back in twice.
Right. And we're not going to mention the venue and we're not going to mention names, but we're going to talk generically because this is happening to everybody out there. I think most people are having this encounter.
And he was a funny enough guy, but he was definitely a guy that was either looking, he was irritating a lot of the patrons at the bar. He was either looking to you didn't know if he's looking to get laid or looking to get into a fight or whatever he was. And I don't even believe the fucker was from London. I think he was just putting on an accent.
That was the most annoying part about him.
Right.
People with an accent, even an English accent, they annoy me.
I think he was full of shit. I think he was from down the road, And
they called me a fucking wanker. Do you remember that shit?
I do remember. I laughed for quite a while when he called you that.
At my expense, motherfucker.
But he read you pretty good. You wouldn't even fist bump him.
What do you mean he read me pretty good? Because I'm a fucking wanker? Are you calling me a wanker?
Of the COVID. I don't know how to fucking, like I said.
It's because you got the COVID.
Turn into Mrs. Doubtfire.
That was Irish.
Let's not go down that road.
It's like
I've got one fucking.
He was so drunk, but here's the problem with these people. Yeah, I said these people. Okay. They come over. They think they're part of your circle, right? Now, and I said this even after he left. I told you and Danny was with us. I told you guys this. I said, let's imagine Corona never occurred. It never existed. This guy makes me uncomfortable that he's on top of me. I got spatial issues.
Spatial issues.
Okay. I don't like people hovering on me and inside of my 18-inch comfort zone. And that's pretty much the American standard.
That's fair.
18
that's
to
very
24 inch. This guy's now hovering on me. I go, bro, you're going to have to back up.
I thought he was going to kiss you. He looked like he was leaning in. He wanted to.
I turned the other direction. I gave him the stiff arm. I was like, right? And he's like, oh, you're worried about the Corona. I was like,
The COVID, huh?
I'm doing Irish. I know I am. I'm so sorry. But
it's so
I was like, yeah, bro. Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know you and you're making me uncomfortable. Now, trust me, I'm out there. I'm not on one extreme of the spectrum. But, a lot of people won't leave their house still. I don't believe in that. I also don't believe in, let's start making out with each other. I'm not there yet. Somewhere in the middle, I'm trying to find the new adjustment into society comfort zone. I don't need people who are meaningless to me, and he's a drunk fuck coming up on me and getting that close. So I had to give him the stiff arm, and I think you sensed it, and you pulled your drink back because he was like, you're like, okay, you're breathing in my drink.
You know what?
I saw you pull the drink back. That was a good move.
That's instinct. I was like, this guy's spitting all over the place. I can't have that.
Right.
He's spraying, you know?
Now, this guy who is nameless to me because we never got his fucking name, right?
His name was
He's out there. He's not the only guy. I think I want to make a public service announcement right now. If you are this guy, please, motherfuckers, understand that no one is ready for you to sit on their lap. It's making people uncomfortable. Back the fuck off. And even after Corona is over and it's a distant memory and they have the fucking serum, they have the cure, you're still an annoying motherfucker. Nobody wants you in their space unless you're a super hot chick. That's the only people who you want to welcome into your fucking personal space.
The only way to risk COVID is if you're a fucking hot chick.
Not even COVID. I don't
COVID.
want anyone, I don't want to feel anyone's breath right here in my ear and that little bit of spittle that happens when they're talking. And it's like, oh my God, I got to give myself an ear bath in the public bathroom now. Nobody wants that, but especially now. So that guy's the boob of the fucking week. But if you're a hot chick and you're listening, these rules do not apply to you. Just make sure you take your temperature before you do it to me. And my wife is not around. God bless you. We love you. We love the ladies. Nadeem, you got anything to add to that?
All right.
You have anything to add to that? It was a question.
Did you drink yours?
No, I said, do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, I don't know. Just really, it really comes down to don't be a fucking asshole, you know? It's plain and simple.
You're going to go with that broad stroke?
Don't get in anybody's bubble. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick if you see somebody with a fucking hot chick and come up to them and think you're going to start a conversation. Fucking whatever it is. Don't be a dick. And don't hack into somebody's goddamn show on Sunday night. Don't fucking attack somebody.
No, don't blame them. I did it to them. I had it coming.
You're responsible for this?
I am. And Gonzo knows it. That's why he's keeping quiet. Okay. I did it first. I drew first blood.
You son of a bitch. I wasn't informed of this. I don't get any news. I thought we were saying shit about pierogies and,
I drew first blood.
That's it. You did this.
I did it. You brought this to our house.
Never go against the family, David.
You brought this.
Huge mistake.
Huge. China.
You want to go? Yeah, you want to go fishing?
But that's all I got. You got anything else for us, Nadeem?
No, that's it, man. I'm just chilling. I've been working out, trying to work on myself. A little yoga, meditation, a little exercise.
Look at that. The
Feel
Gonzo.
good.
Yeah.
Feel amazing. Gonzo, I'm here with Gonzo. We're having some Tullamore Dew tonight.
I'm drunk.
Woo!
I'm drunk too. I swear to God, this is one of my favorite places to get drunk.
Yes.
I know we developed this during Corona because we couldn't go out and get drunk. But now that we've started doing this, getting drunk on live TV and recording it for eternity, I've become addicted to this little sadistic fucking behavior. And I want to have as many recordings of us intoxicated as possible so that one day my wife could play this back in divorce court. Okay, listen. No, I'm only joking. You better burn these fucking files, Gonzo, you son of a bitch. Don't hold me over a barrel. I know you, brother. I know you. Listen, you want to plug anything before we go?
Can I plug the show that I got? It's not even June yet. It's June 21st. Can I do that?
Plug it. Who cares? You plug it again next week.
I'm going to plug it. Yeah. All right. June 21st, I'm going to be hosting at the Improv, the New Faces of Comedy. So we're back up and rolling. My man Jay Guy is going to be putting together the comics there. And we'll be there in West Palm Beach, June 21st. New Faces. Please come on out, support, have a good time, get some laughs, have some drinks, have some great food. Come by the Copper Blues after. We'll be hanging out. I'll be there.
I'll be there too, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's awesome, man. The Improv is the South Florida mecca of comedy, and they couldn't have picked a better guy. They couldn't have picked a better guy to team up with to host that night. Jay Guy's a great guy. The Improv as an establishment is a great guy. And Nadeem, they're going to get the best in South Florida by having you be the host. So I'm looking forward.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
But bro, come on.
It's going to be a good time.
You know, all joking aside, I mean, just hearing you talk about your misery really brings laughter to me. We got a great.
I missed the last part, but I felt like it wasn't as sincere as the shit before. Any the translator?
Come on, everybody who knows you loves you, brother. Come on, I got to do all that I can to try. But listen, I'm gonna plug a little if you're done.
Yeah, plug a little bit. I think I'm gonna invite the girl there that I like. I think I'm gonna do it that night. And then, what do you think? That'd be bad or no?
Yeah, well, why not?
I'm only gonna bring up 75 comedians, so I'll have no time to talk to her.
Good. So then you could have regrets again. Like I completely ignored her. I was busy. It wasn't my fault. Listen, no, you bring her. I'll have drinks with her, and maybe I'll
keep her entertained. We'll go out after.
Don't worry about it. Everything will be good. So I got a really great show going on in Boca Raton on June 18th. It's a Thursday night, okay? And we got Florida's funniest, Cam Bertrand. He's going to be headlining that night. Dan Long is going to be our feature at the Beer Garden, Boca Raton on Federal Highway. It is the big stage in Boca. I'll be hosting that night. We might have a special guest pop in. I'm not going to say, but it is going to be a great show. It's one of the first in South Florida, okay, to be announced and do it indoors. So we're excited to bring comedy back to South Florida, quality comedy. So please, if you could make it out, seating is going quick because these establishments are not at 100% due to the phase 1, phase 2 limitations. So if you don't make reservations, I fear you might get shut out and you might be wind up outside the establishment. Call. I don't have the number on me, but you all have Google. Beer Garden, Boca Raton. Okay. And hope to see you that night. We got an amazing lineup. And we got some other things happening too, but that's the one I want to talk about right now. You can find me on sadman.com, Sadman Comedy Productions, rather, and all over Facebook and Instagram. That's all I got, brother.
That's it. It was a great show. I had a good
great
time.
Show.
Jim
Thanks
Patterson.
again to Jim Patterson.
Yes.
Thank you, Gonzo. Thank you, Brad.
Gonzo, the man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
You guys
I'm
are
in
awesome.
the big man's chair. Look at this shit. I don't know if I can fill it out right. There's a lot of room here.
You really can't. You can't. Okay. All right. I love you. I'm out. Cheers. God bless.
Right.
See you next
Peace.
week.
Brad, thank
Peace.
you. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Peace.
For Gonzo Radio, this is Super Time 6000 2015 for Gonzo Television Station, coming to the greater Sandusky, Ohio area. This is Pirate Bill, and this is Frank Welker saying, watch Transformers.